M.
Hello? Testing. Am I muted?
I don't think I'm muted. Hi, Salvujo. Unmuted and unbothered. Yes, very much. Good morning. How are you doing today? I am once again testing a multi-stream on Twitter. It looks like it's going well, but we'll have to see. Today is Big Lore, right? Yeah. It was supposed to be yesterday, but I got super busy yesterday and ended up not streaming. So I apologize I didn't stream yesterday. Doing fine, that's good. Hello, X-Men. That's a good name for them, X-Men. Yeah, it does say I'm live. Okay. I don't know how good of a connection it is, though. It looks like it's buffering a lot. Well, yeah, today we'll just like hanging out. No gaming today, so we're just chatting. And I promise I talk about my lore. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about my lore. I could probably do like a MS Paint or Clip Studio thing, so we have like a image of what I'm talking about, you know. My art tablet working? I haven't used it in a while. I might just go like the old school MS Paint route though. Here's my audio. Hello. Twitter actually looks like it's going pretty good, surprisingly. Whatever I'm doing, it's working. So, is there any particular place you want to start with, Sabujo? Or should I just start at the beginning of my lore? Like, is there a topic that you're more interested in?
Purple glow, cosmic knowledge flows, eldritch secrets, ancient lore. Embrace the cosmic tale, Glemster whispers. Praise the celestial bond, mysteries unfold. Nirvana's guidance, soulsies embrace. Cosmic wonders, eternal grace. Mole.
What do you say? Mole? That's an interesting M clump. Look at Microsoft Paint up in here. At least there's like a visual representation of what I'm talking about. Oh, cause like a while ago, I wanted to get some advice about my lore. I was writing it myself, but I'm kind of debating on whether I should commission someone to help me fine tune it and everything. At the moment, it is mostly still pretty valid. Let's get paint up in here. Put my 3 years of art college to use. Why don't we? What the fuck? Interesting. That's not supposed to happen. I like mythology and telling stories, so you're wrong. My two cents. Feel free to ask. It was supposed to show the Microsoft Paint thing, but what if I put on the game? No, it's not showing up. Do I have to display my display? That's a risk. No, I don't know what's up with that. Okay. Hold on, I'm just gonna show my display. And like crop it down. Hi, Yor. Hi, Akaru. I hope it's okay I call you that. I like to give my chat some nicknames or shorten their names. Aka? Okay. Hello. Please pardon me while I get this thing up real quick. What? How do I do this? That's me. And that's me up here. Wait. Wait. I know. Hold on, I'm moving stuff around. I don't like showing my display, but okay. I will be over here. Yep. And I'll move chat. Chat will move down here. It's too bright down there, but... Actually, I know how to fix that. We'll just change it to nighttime. There we go. Now you guys can see. There you go. Much better, right? The car works too is what I go by on places outside of Twitch if it's not taken. Okay. Alright. Are you ready, chat? For the lore? Wanna lore dump? I know I say it in bits and pieces everywhere. every now and then. And it's still kind of a work in progress. Because I'm still trying to like write it down. I want my lore set in stone before I try to decide or fund to get like a lore video made, you know. What am I looking for? This. Move me over a little more. Or I'll just be a head down here. So I'm not covering up too much space. Sorry, Clump. In the beginning, there was Clump M.
M.
M. Actually, even better idea, since I'm looking this way for chat. I will be ahead right here. Or some. Yeah, right here. And chat, you go over there. Turn off that one so you guys can see yourselves at least. Alright. Now we're ready. You sure are ahead. Yeah. I am ahead. Alright, now we're ready. So I'm gonna start from the very beginning. This is like before Nirvana comes into picture as our main character. I'm doing this right off memory. Which is a pretty good memory because I always think about my own lore. On stream, off stream, eating breakfast, anywhere and everywhere. I'm always thinking about my own lore. So in the beginning, there was GHIN. Ignore my ugly handwriting on mouse. In the beginning, there was nothing, and then after nothing, there came in the beginning, we're not talking about Clump. and a cosmic egg was chilling there. Clump comes in a little after this. In the beginning, there was like absolutely nothing. It was like all darkness. S ugly handwriting. We're always talking about Clump. This is gonna end up being a Clump lore stream rather than an overall lore stream. In the beginning, there was nothing, and in that nothing, there was darkness, and from that darkness, there was they're created or born or however you want to call it. Entity. Right? ENTITY entity. I'm reminded of the Family Guy joke. In the beginning, there was God and his roommate Terry. And that entity that came from the darkness, he is named, quote, he doesn't have an official name, but he is known as Void. And Void lived in that darkness and essentially created, like, you know, all of the monsters that originate from the Void. Monsters like the Novator. Novator. Clump was not the very first Novator created. The very first Novator were like traditional, you know, Eldritch Dark Lords like Cthulhu. Those are like the big names from the Eldritch Horrors universe and Eldritch gods. They were created first. The Novator came a little bit after those guys. I did. That's the thing. I did. So like after like Cthulhu and all of Cthulhu and his friends and everything, there came the Novator. The Novator were initially just supposed to be like the you know, like the little guys, the ones that it's okay. Like they weren't initially supposed to be like super strong. They're just like lesser beings. They're considered like lesser beings and weaker beings in the void. And from like after a couple hundred or a couple thousand Novator are created, we get Clump. Lump. And Clump didn't want to be the little tiny weak guy. Technically, Big C is already third generation of Eldritch Gods. Clump didn't want to be like the little baby. Cthulhu, that is. Yeah. Clump didn't want to be like a little baby weakling. He wanted to be like his uncle Cthulhu, like we mentioned a couple times. And he wanted to be a big name Novator. He wanted to become an Eldritch God. That's essentially Clump's goal. He wants to consume enough souls to become an Eldritch God on the same level as Cthulhu and all of them. You know. So Clump has a dream too. To become an Eldritch God. Where's my mouse? Here. That's a little bit about Clump. Well, Clump came from an egg, by the way. So this is Clump's egg with his spirals. The same egg that you see on the sub badges. Clump hatched from an egg. I'm gonna try to crudely draw Clump. Hold on, actually, not bad. Here, that's Clump. We should work on some actually scary lore bits later for Clump so we can cement his place as an eldritch entity. That's true. Clump is mainly just like a little funny guy right now. If you have ideas for Clump, Sabujo, I don't mind at all. Clump is a community project, so whatever you guys got, just send them my way. I'd love to give Clump some more lore. Clump's already got more lore than me, so I'm not gonna stop now. The Novator come from eggs. And they hatch into little Novator babies. We're gonna sidetrack a little, talk about the Novator. Based on my memory, I didn't really have the foresight to record all of Clump's ramblings about his species and his lore. But based on what I remember, they don't start off with tentacles. They like kind of start off as fuzzy little creatures with no tentacles. And they get more tentacles the more souls they eat. And if they can beat the Novator stronger than themselves. Yeah. If they beat the Novator stronger than themselves and they eat enough souls, then they get a tentacle, and that cements their increase in power in their rank. So like Novator with no tentacles are like the babies. They're really young and they're really weak. It's like a hierarchy, like Heaven's Angels hierarchy or the Demons in Hell hierarchy. The Novator also have their own hierarchy. And that hierarchy depends on how many tentacles they have. And also their strength also determines how many tentacles they have. The Clump start off a little baby with zero tentacles. And Clump was actually one of the One of the few Novathird that got all 6 of his tentacles pretty fast. Like he had like a lot of potential for a little tiny baby Novathird like him. There's only a handful of Novathirds that have 6 tentacles like Clump. I don't want to say it. Clump out of all the Novathird with 6 tentacles is kind of the weakest right now. Like he's strong in Novathird terms, but out of the few top dogs on the same rank as him, he's like the weakest because he's still pretty young. All the other top dog Novathirds have been around for like centuries or whatever, or however many long. Clump's ego would be shattered if he was listening right now. Yeah, true. So true. Blasphemy. Clump is still strong. He's gotta get power somehow, you know? Think about this. Clump is so powerful that he's on the same level of strength as Adonis, and Adonis is really powerful. So that's still impressive, you know? We should also come how you end up getting stuck in a Pokemon game. Is that actually part of his lore that he... Okay. Clump had to say that, right? The Clump said that Clump said that he came from a Pokemon game. Now I have to somehow include that into his lore. I wonder if all the souls he is consuming, since you decided to keep him at the palace. He confirmed it. God damn it. Okay. I gotta stop Clump from altering his own lore. Right, are we about done talking about Clump? Think so. Can I make this bigger? Here we go. So we got a little sidetrack from Clump. Are we on the Nirvana lore? Yeah, we talked about Clump lore a little bit to satisfy you. We're gonna go back to my lore. So what did I say? And the entity that first came from the darkness was Void. That's what we know him as. And, you know, Void started doing all his, like, creating all the Eldritch being. And he was the only, like, god creature. At this point, he was the only god for a while. Like, for, like, a long while. There was just nothing but the darkness and the Void and all the Eldritch horrors. And then after the Void... taking a little inspiration from the Bible... there was like a little spark of light all of a sudden. Arc. SBA arc of light. And this spark of light became the very first green. From the spark of light emerged the very first supreme god, like the originator of the god bloodline that Nirvana is a part of. Because Nirvana is part of a bloodline of gods. Because the god line is like a monarchy, you know. Did I ever say that? Like Nirvana's the heir to the throne because she's the daughter of God, and she has the mark of the supreme God. Capitalized G, God. Yeah. But I don't want to put like God, because that kind of confuses people with like the Bible God. My God is a reference to the Bible God, but it's not like it's not the God. So my God is called the supreme God to like differentiate the two from like my Lord God and like the biblical God. Heavenly princess and all. Yes, Nirvana is the heir to the throne. She has the mark of the supreme God. She is the only one that inherited the supreme God abilities and powers and whatnot out of all of her siblings. So she is the heir because she inherited the mark of the supreme God and all the powers and everything. I wonder if I'll add it. So there aren't really any genders, but Void is represented as a male in Supreme God, the one that came from the spark of light, R-E-M-E, God, the very first God in the bloodline of gods, is represented as a female. God is a woman and all, you know. It's like the only time where outside of Nirvana that the supreme God has been a female or a woman. All of the supreme gods after this very first supreme God has been male. So it's like in the lore, it's thought that the supreme God was like a patriarchal role, because most of the gods in recorded history, at least recorded to like everyone else, like the god in position knows that the supreme God is a female, but everyone else doesn't, and that's kind of like confidential information. So it's kind of like a thing where, because the public doesn't know, they thought the supreme God role was like a patriarchal position, and that all the gods after the next god and everything would be male. You could find her Thomas Jefferson stuff. So it was kind of a surprise, mainly to the public, but also a little bit to her father, that Nirvana was a female essentially, and that she inherited the mark of the supreme God. Because all the supreme gods before him have been male, and the only other female supreme god was the creator. So it's like to her father, it was like their mother essentially, like the mother of all creation, has been reincarnated into Nirvana. She's not though, but. It, you know, it's like from her father's perspective, you know. We're overcoming the patriarchy with this one. It has been a patriarchy up until this point, but like from the very beginning, it wasn't, because the very first supreme god was a female. It was just thought, you know. They've all been male. Nirvana's super mommy, man. So, Void, our primordial dark entity, and that created all the eldritch monsters, was like, kind of, what the fuck is this? Where did you come from? Why the fuck are you so bright? You know. It didn't take long for our girl boss, the very first supreme god, to start creating her own creatures. But she didn't create eldritch horror creatures. She created like the angels, you know, and she started creating her own little happy paradise world that we now know as the heavenly realm. In my lore, I call it the heavenly realm. But you know, it is like basically a representation of heaven, but very different from the Bible heaven and other religions versions of heaven. You know, my lore heaven is called the heavenly realm because it's a realm that she created. Void's like all of the eldritch creatures. It's just called the Void. He's kind of like, I don't know what the fuck to call this place. It's kind of dark. I'll just name it after me. It's the Void. Ow. So wait. Let me draw like a picture of what it's supposed to look like. Hello. Thank you for the Josh Hunters. So this whole little circle, it's okay, is EAVENLYREAL. Fuck. REALM. That's stupid. EALM. Like this circle is the heavenly realm and basically the universe. The universe alongside with it. The heavenly realms here and universe. This is a heavenly realm. This is a you know what I'm trying to say. And then all of this out here is the void. So like ultimately, compared to like everything, the heavenly realm and the universe and like Earth and everything in this, it's like basically still super small compared to like the void and where Clump comes from. And like all the eldritch horrors and the eldritch gods come from. So like the light and the darkness is the heavenly realm in the universe. But before it was like this, it was actually more like split in half in a way. Like Void was here and the Supreme God was here, and they essentially like split the realm that they were created in half. But Void was pissed because he didn't want only half, he wanted all of it, because in his mind, you know, I was here first. Why the fuck do I gotta share with you that came in all of a sudden, you know? Like, this is my home. You're essentially an invader on my territory. Get the fuck out. And because he wanted what he thought was rightfully his back, he started attacking the other half, where the heavenly realm was. He started attacking the heavenly realm, and he started sending all of his eldritch, right? Yeah, eldritch creatures. EURES. He started sending his eldritch creatures to attack the heavenly realm, and to attack the Supreme God, and to like get rid of her. Because he get out of my swamp moment. Yeah, exactly. He was trying to tell her to get out of his goddamn swamp. And heaven was not really very, you know, like very well established in the beginning. So their only real defense was the angels. ELS, because the angels were the first creatures to be like the inhabitants of heaven. So I'm pretty sure you can probably tell little angels that have only been created for like a short time up until this point won't be able to stand against the eldritch creatures that's been there for who knows how long already, right? Like the eldritch creatures are probably already at this point gods in and of themselves and of their own accord, right? And you know, Clump's here too. Clump's been around for a long time. Clump and Novathur. So they like creatures, eldritch gods, and Novathurians attack heaven, but the angels are lucky because the supreme god is a supreme god, and she basically like stopped that shit. She was their pretty much only main sort of defense, you know? It's like every time he attacked, he just wouldn't stop attacking because he wants his territory back. But every time he attacked, she would essentially stop him all on her own. And she's like, bro, stop. Like, I'm just living in peace, dude. I didn't ask to be created. I just came here out of nowhere like you. But he keeps attacking. And he keeps attacking. And he keeps attacking. And he doesn't want to attack because he wants his fucking territory back. He's like, get the fuck out of here. So then at some point, she goes to him to compromise and to like make some kind of deal with him. She goes to him with like a deal. He's like, okay, give me like a small portion. Just let me have a tiny portion, and I'll continue to just do my own thing. I'll leave you the fuck alone, okay? Just leave me alone. I just want my peace, okay? Void, he doesn't like that he doesn't get all of it back, but he's like, well, I get most of it. So he decides to compromise, and the deal is successfully made. So then he gives her a small portion that heaven and the angels can go to now. But deep down, he's still like fucking pissed, you know? Like, I still want all my shit back. Like, I don't want you to have any of it. I don't want you to have any of it, because this is my home. But this gives him like an advantage, right? Because now he has so much more territory that he can create as many eldritch horrors and and more creatures and gods as he want. Isn't half of infinite still infinite? Yeah, even though it's like in a sense, it is a small portion of the infinity, but it is still infinity. But he still wants all of it, you know? He wants all of the infinity. He doesn't want a finite of the infinity. You know? So like, oh, she also goes here too. Like, they go down here. And he's secretly getting more eldritch creatures and eldritch horrors. And like fuck, that's not a number. And like multiplied it by like 10 so he can attack all of his so he can have all of his eldritch creatures attack all at once. That existential greed is truly terrifying. It's like greed and it's like pride, you know. Void is like the really early representation of the sins, you know? Like, he has all of the sins in him. He has all the pride, he has all the lust, he has all the greed, he's slothful in a sense because he's not attacking himself. He's having Clump and all the other eldritch gods and eldritch creatures to attack instead of him. Like he doesn't want get his own hands dirty. So in a way, he is slothful. He's wrathful because he's fucking angry that some bitch came out of nowhere in his perspective and started taking some of his shit. The boy is like very much early representations of the sins that we'll see later on when or hell comes up. So like he starts building up his army. The heavenly realm and the angels are kind of just chilling out. And then let's say in perspective, I know there's not really a timeline this early on because they didn't really bother to put like a time frame, but let's just say like a couple centuries or a couple 100,000 years later. They're still here, they're still chilling. Void decides after like amassing all of his creatures. These squiggle lines are all his creatures. After hundreds of thousands of years or however long. This has happened, by the way. After amassing all of his creatures, he decides to have them all attack all at once so he can take that territory back. So he can get his swamp back. At this point, this is like hundreds of thousands or even millions of eldritch creatures attacking heaven all at once. And this event is known as is known as, I assume Clump was there for this cosmic scuffle. Yeah, because he gets free soulsies, you know. Excuse me. What did I call it? God damn it. The War of Creation. This is the very first, like, real war between God and heaven and the angels and the eldritch horrors. That's stupid. This event where Void amasses like hundreds of thousands or millions of creatures to attack heaven, and heaven fights back. This event is known as the War of Creation. This is the first recorded war in the lore and in their history. Like there were like battles before this, but they weren't recorded because God was just, you know, like I showed earlier. Like it wasn't really a fight because God was the only one doing anything. Like she was mainly defending. She wasn't fighting back, you know. But this is the war where she decides to actually fight back against him. So this is officially the first war in the lore, known as the War of Creation. In this war, you can probably tell who won in this war. Hi, Clay. How do I draw this? This is Void. God bests Void in the War of Creation. Like even after he amassed, the universe still exists, so I don't know. Like at this point in the timeline, there are more angels. The Supreme God has been training them and everything in case Void attacks, which he did in the war. So they actually proved like a fighting chance against all of the creatures, even though there's like hundreds of thousands to millions of them attacking all at once, all of a sudden, you know. It was essentially like a surprise attack because, you know, like they're not really keeping tabs of each other 24/7. Oh, jeez. Hold that. I'm good. Okay. So the war creation was won by our girl boss, the Supreme God. And in her first show of her Supreme God powers and her authority, her first act of authority as Supreme God, that would be a nice moment to use clump attack. In her first show of her Supreme God authority, because she hasn't really used her authority other than creating the angels and like expanding her heavenly realm in the universe. But other than that, she hasn't really like done any godly things, you know? Because she's just a creator. She's like the mother. She just wants to take care of her children. And her children are the universe and the angels in the heavenly realm. And for punishment, because she's pretty much gotten sick and tired of Void constantly attacking her. This isn't hell exactly yet, but for easier understanding, we're going to call it hell because that's what it becomes later. As punishment, she sends Void to like early version hell. I guess we'll call it right now. I'm blocking it. Is there a specific reason the Supreme God uses the male form of the word God instead of goddess? At this point is mainly just like a title, because she doesn't have a name. Like she is like if shit. If I were to draw her, I would give her a female form, but they weren't really thinking about like titles back then. You know? Especially because there weren't any other gods that were created at this point. At least on her side. There were gods in like Eldritch Horrors and Eldritch Gods on the Void side, but not on her side. And also it's like part of like her history. Since she doesn't have a name and she's the first quote unquote supreme god, that's what they called her. Like her bloodline down the line. They just called her the supreme god, or like their creator god and their mother god. You know? Because she created everything. She created the universe and she created like the, what do you call it? Yeah, like you know, like Greek mythology, there was Rhea, right? But there was like a god before Rhea, I believe. Like the very first Greek gods or Egyptian gods and all those other gods, she created them after she banished Void to hell. I love playing with Clump's face and hand emojis. I'm getting off track. We're not even at Nirvana yet. So God sends Void. She creates a realm for punishment, specifically. And that this realm is like within the heavenly realm, or like within like this little circle where the heavenly realm and the universe and everything is. So like, well, better representation. Here's like, it's like a sandwich. Hell is not part of the void. Like the void's out here, right? This is hell. E-L. Then this is the universe. And this is heaven. A-V-E-N. Like, it is thought that hell is part of the void, but it is not. Hell is just another realm created by her to like send the void to punish him. Like, if you want to be part of this piece so badly, here, I'll give you this little piece that you can have, and you were trapped there forever. You won't ever go back to the void, because the void is like part of Void's source of power. So she essentially stripped him of his source of power, so to prevent him from doing anything. Like, if he were to escape hell and go back to the void, he will regain all of his powers. That makes sense? So I need to write better so it's better understanding. Right, we're gonna continue. If void entity is outside of the void realm, is it just an infinity-sized lawless zone now? Yeah. It is basically, like, even though the void's there, like, even though void is out of the void, he couldn't really, like, control the void realm, you know? Like, he was created there. Like, he didn't create it. He was created in it. Like, he spawned in out of nowhere, just like the Supreme God spawned in out of nowhere, you know? Like, he doesn't really have true control or power over it. He was just like another quote-unquote creature within it. But he draws a lot of his power from it. And that's why Clump and the Novathers and the other Eldritch gods are still there, essentially. Because, like, even Fraud, even though, like, they were created by the Void the entity, their powers draw from the Void realm. Goat status revoked. He was a goat to you at this point? Hey, so at this point in the story, Void the entity is trapped in the heavenly realm, or in the universe. So he is stripped away from the void. He cannot gain any power from it anymore. He kind of was reality's goat at the time. So now there's like an era of peace. There's an era of peace now because Void the entity is now locked away. He's in prison, For being void, that probably means tall, dark, and handsome man. Yeah, he is. I'm gonna say Nirvana is not the reincarnation of the Supreme God, but she is like, you know, looks a lot like her. Even though there aren't really any pictures, there have been like descriptions from like the old gods that have seen her, that have gone down the generations. They said that she was a short woman with long white hair and golden eyes. And Nirvana's like part of that, you know? I'll explain the black hair on Nirvana later, but I think some of you guys already know. And for the void, fun fact, Adonis looks a little bit like him, even though he's not his reincarnation. Because in current timeline, the void is still alive, you know? Like he doesn't have like a bloodline or anything. half to that to be exact. Yeah. The void doesn't have a bloodline or like you know, a family tree or anything. Void's just always been there. He's just been like imprisoned. So he never died or anything, or he never. Of course, they're having this sort of dynamic. he never died or had any kind of heir or children or anything. The Supreme God does have a bloodline. So the Supreme God is, in a sense, like she's no longer around physically, but like her soul has been passed down through her bloodline. And that's the mark of the Supreme God that I mentioned earlier. Like whoever has a piece of her soul when born into the God bloodline, that is their destiny to become the next Supreme God. So because Nirvana was born with a piece of her soul, she is the reincarnation. Not reincarnation. She is the heir of the throne. I messed myself up. She's not a reincarnation. She looks a lot like her, but she's not a reincarnation. Because Nirvana's her own person. And then Adonis. Like Adonis has a lot of characteristics in appearance wise to the void, but he didn't inherit any of his powers or anything. He just looks a lot like him. And that's supposed to like represent be like Nirvana and Adonis are like this generation's supreme god from the beginning in the void. But instead of them being enemies, they are now, you know, allies or lovers, depending on where we are in the story. It like breaks that cycle of, you know, fighting between the two. The beginning of fraud Adonis. Anyway, Era of Peace. There have been other gods, you know, like this is where like she starts making creatures outside of the angels. Make love, not war. Adonis still very much loves war. It's okay. This is where like in this era of peace, she starts making mortals. And those mortals I'm gonna make this sound like a little silly, guys. Like this is a fraud Adonis moment. Right. So you remember where we're at now, chat? This is the void out here. where the clump and everything is. This is the universe where it holds the heavenly realm and the universe and hell. This is where she starts making the universe, because at first she was just working on the heavenly realm and angels and everything. This is where she starts making other creations, like the planets and the sun and like asteroids and everything, and other creatures. Like, well, first, before she did that, she created a little ball of rock. And in that ball of rock, wonder what that ball of rock is. ARTH. This is Earth. She created a little ball of rock called Earth, or Gaia, as it was known earlier. Will you incorporate planetary intelligence on your lore? Yes. There are other planets that hold life outside of Earth in my lore. So there are aliens. Or extraterrestrials, I guess is the better term for it. So it's like it's a big universe. It's an ever-expanding universe. These are not all of them, but this is like, you know, a representation of like all of the planets like Earth that also hold life and everything, you know? And she didn't create them, in a sense. The planets themselves have a spirit? What do you mean? Sorry, I yawned. That can influence each other and those within. I've never heard that before. I'm kind of interested, Sabajo. So, like, the planets themselves are alive? You know, horoscopes and stuff? Yeah. Like, yeah. Sort of. Might have to tell me about that more. I don't think I've ever heard that before. I'm yawning a lot. I like to look into magical traditions and the occult from time to time. Okay, we're gonna go back a little. In my lore, there is Earth, but the Earth in my lore is a little bit different than the Earth we know, you know? Like, this is Earth. EARTH. That's Earth. So we zoomed in a little bit. And you know, like America and everything, in Canada and Europe and Asia and everything, right? The stars are aligning and all that. You have to tell me more about that. But you know, like the Earth we know is like actually this small little portion. This is not the Earth is flat kind of thing. This is the Earth we know is bigger than the Earth we see kind of moment. So I guess kind of the Earth is flat kind of moment, but more like more of the firmament kind of thing. Like this little, it's like the ice caps, and they have like a little dome surrounding them protecting the humans. I never had a geology class in my life. Okay, so I'm trying to explain this in a way that makes sense. So Earth that we know, and like what we have in our real life, is only like a small portion of the actual Earth in my lore. Earth that we see is, I'm taking a little bit from flat Earth, but the Earth in my lore is a globe. It's just bigger. The Earth might be flat, but Nirvana definitely isn't. That's why I'm covering up my chest. I don't know if I'm even making any sense with this. So, this little shaded part is the ice caps and the firmament. So, to protect like the humans, you know, mortals, human beings are I heard lore I have here. I'm trying to make sense of this. So in my lore, there are more than just humans, right? There are also elves and dwarves and other like demi-humans and other species, and that you would see in like D&D or other fictional fantasy things. But they live in areas outside of the firmament that are protecting the humans. Fairies, yes. Sadly, yes. But like elves and dwarves and all that, they live outside of the human area, because I don't know if you noticed, but humans are kind of weird. Earth is just a part of the surface of a bigger Earth. Yes, exactly. And for the humans, the Earth that they see when they like, you know, go out into space, like they're not stopping them from going, the firmament doesn't stop them from going out into space, but it creates like an illusion to protect the humans from the whole of Earth, you know. Because humans and mortals, they're weak little beings, and they can only handle so much. And you know how in my Discord, like you're a they kind of have the same problems in Flat Earth, but yeah. Like I'm trying to make it different, you know. Try to make it more fantasy than like Flat Earth. Like the Earth that they are in is a like, it's still a ball, okay? They're in space. It's a ball. But the humans are protected in the firmament and by the ice caps. Some passive aerial travel wouldn't work. We're not talking about the science, you know. It's all fantasy. I just chalk it up to it's an illusion for the humans, you know. Like it might not work, but they make it work. That's what the angels are for. They make it work for the humans and to protect them. I think I was saying in my Discord, like whenever you join a Discord, like a dream theory, kinda, yeah. In the Discord, whenever someone joins the Discord, you're like, "Hello, Soulsy, you're in heaven." like you're a human that died, and you were sent to heaven, and you were sent to the royal palace to be judged, and you are given the decision to change your appearance. And that's a little bit of the lore, because whenever a soul from the little earth part goes up into heaven, they have the option to either continue to be like to be judged and become an angel or a demon, or I died, or you're given the decision to essentially reincarnate into the outside of the firmament, so you can become you can be a human again and go on the outside, or you can change and become an elf, like an isekai kind of thing, you know. Like they're given the decision to isekai into the fantasy world outside of the human, outside of the human. But the catch is they can't go back. Like if you decide to reincarnate into the outside, you cannot go back into the firmament. Like if you have family here, you're just separated forever. And that's the caveat. I'm staying dead. I mean, that is an option too. There are souls that never get judged and they kind of wander in like a limbo sort of thing. Vana isekaiing people. I don't isekai them. Technically, I don't have the authority to judge souls. My father does. Aquavana. My father's the one that judges the souls because I don't have that authority yet. Clump. Yes, if you decide to neither be judged or be reincarnated, you kind of just become like a soulsy. You become like a little soulsy creature, and you'll wander heaven, or you might somehow fall out of heaven and wander to earth, or you might somehow wander into the void and become clump food, or you might wander into hell. You can only be judged in heaven. So like when you're not judged in heaven, you're kind of just in like a limbo state. Some kind of occupies a similar position to Amit on Egyptian mythology. What does Amit do? It sounds familiar, but I haven't been keeping up on my mythologies in a while. I'm kind of I'm still kind of on the early chapters of that manga. I'm not caught up. Thank the Supreme God you were not permitted to judge us. The Devourer of the Dead? That sounds cool. Anyway, that's enough about Earth. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about Earth, but we're gonna continue. More clump names. Yeah, but that's like an official Egyptian title, right? Right, so during this era of peace, remember Void? You guys remember Void, right? Void has been trapped in hell for like quite a while, you know? And he's kind of feeling a little petty. And he's kind of feeling that he was fucking cheated. And he was kind of feeling, I want to get that bitch back. Like, how dare she take me away from my home and trap me in here for who knows how long? And so Void, our entity, decides to stage a coup. And you like know, at this point, rigged. At this point, hell has been kind of changed a little bit into a place of torment and punishment. So like all the bad souls that were judged and become demons of hell. We know at least we know who Clone took that from. So Void has been conspiring with the demons that were sent to hell for punishment. And he decides, I'm gonna make an army of demons. And through special contacts with some of the gods, he has a little bit of access to the void realm. He can't fully go back there, but he has an access that can open the wall between the two to make the eldritch creatures attack the heavenly realm again. Because there's some gods that are evil and that are on Void's side, so they help him out every now and then. There have been multiple attacks and invasions in the heavenly realm. Bro found a breach. There have been multiple attacks and multiple invasions from hell and from the creatures of the void that have attacked for eras, for eons. So like for pretty not every god, because not every god experienced a war during their ruling, but there have been a lot of wars over the years with different gods protecting and leading the charge and everything. Like he's just been constantly attacking, and he just no. And now we're kind of gonna get into Nirvana's father's era before he became God. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer to Nirvana. Right now we're on her father's time of his time of learning, what it means to be God. Nirvana's father has a name, by the way. Helel. Hello. And he has a twin brother Moo. Right, did I spell that right? Lucilius? I'm not gonna lie, I got my main question, but I want to hear is what question you got? I don't mind asking questions. What's your question, Camel? Oh, wait. How did you meet Club? We'll get there. We'll get there. That's kind of coming up. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I know what his name is, but I want to make sure. That's not Disney. Hold on. Heck, Nirvana forgot her own. It's been a long time. I'm trying to remember. There was a god in a religion, I'm trying to remember, where the god was pretty much an evil god, right? Like he was a creator, but he wasn't really a good god. I'm trying to remember his name because that's the name of her father's father. The name of her grandfather. God, I'm trying to look it up. That's loud. No. 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 You don't know what I'm thinking of. You can't read my mind. I thought I recorded it somewhere. But we'll figure it out later. No. No. It actually has been a long time since I thought of it, so I don't really remember. Wait, hold on, did I find it? I think I actually found it. Hold on. Mm, no. No. God, I'm trying to remember. Hmm. No. Wait. The demiurge? No. Wait, I was right. I don't think he has a name per se, but I'm pretty sure it's a demiurge I was thinking of. Generally presents a distinction between a supreme hidden god and a malevolent lesser divinity. Yeah, that's not his name though. We'll just call him Demiurge, because I forgot what I named him. So... Demi... I'm probably not even saying it right. Demiurge. And he's the father of Nirvana's father. Hello. Sorry that took so long. And then he has a Demi-Fiend. And then Hillel has a twin brother. Lucilius. Like, Hillel is Nirvana's father. Lucilius is his twin brother. In Hillel's time, the Demiurge, that as we're calling him right now, was not a very good god. He was like a tyrant and a dictator, and he didn't really lead well like a god should. So for Hillel's time, his like story to his heir to the throne, kind of like Zeus, where he was getting training and getting stronger to overthrow his own father. Kinda, in a sense. That's like a little bit of a history buff for Nirvana's father. Lucilius was a twin brother that also went on this journey with him to help, because out of the two, Hillel was the one with the mark of the supreme god, so he was the only one that could inherit the throne. Hillel was the heir. Even though they're twins, only one of them got the mark of the supreme god. So, during their journey, they, like, young Zeus and... was a good god to represent the Egyptians. Odin for the Norse. Because we're like, in her father's time, he gathered all of the, like, the big names, in a sense, of all the other gods to represent the other mythologies to fight against his father. So he, like, had to assemble, like, an Avenger force for his... There's also others. There's, what was one? Not Izanagi. Wait, am I thinking Izanagi? Yeah, I am. Izanagi. I should have known because it was a Persona one. Izanagi. Ron is myriad of forms, probably. Ra for the Egyptians, we'll say. I'm not entirely well versed in the Chinese mythology, honestly. But you know, Chinese mythology and all the other gods that he gathered around, they helped him to defeat his father and his brother. And then after the Demiurge's defeat and Hellel would ascended to the throne, he essentially created like the Council of Gods. So like the quote unquote leader god of every mythology or every religion and folklore and stuff, they like gather around in a council. So even though Hell El is like the big name and at the top, he creates like a council to help so they all can, you know, like govern the universe together as a whole. So it's not just the one person. Because that's what happened with his father. His father had all the power. He had all the control. He made all the decisions for the universe and everything. And everyone followed under him. So he basically had all the power. And Hell wanted to change that. So he created a council so they all can govern the universe together. No. Sadly, a little bit after Hell became God, his brother, Lucilius, what's a good representation? You know Dragon Ball? We're suddenly going into Dragon Ball all of a sudden. Like, Baby, that's his name, right? Because, like, during the Buu saga, Baby, influenced Vegeta to go evil and to fight for him. That's essentially what Void did to the brother, to Lucilius. He influenced him to fight against his own brother. Lucilius was basically under the Void's control. And the brothers had to fight. And Lucilius also renamed himself Lucifer. Lucifer. So this Lucifer is more title. Because there's a Lucifer later on where he's the son of Lucilius. But he's not Lucifer, you know? Or Satan. Satan to save, so we're not confused. So Void takes control of Lucilius. He renames himself Lucifer and gets the title Satan, and he fights his brother, who is now the supreme god on the throne. And they fight for a long time. I'm dark and edgy now. I eat unhappy meals and my name is Lucifer. He was essentially able to like get control of him because you know, the brother, he's the little brother. He's like, in comparison to his brother, he's like smaller stature, he's weaker, he's not as strong, and he's overlooked by his brother because his brother's the heir. And now his brother is literally the ruler of the entire universe. And Lucilius is like over there in the background, like, what about me? You know? He felt overshadowed and Void took advantage of that insecurity of his to give him power so he can be stronger than his brother. So there's a good ending to this part of Hello's story though, because they were able to break Void's control over him, and like he gets his power back, and they both fight Void again. And Void once again gets punished, like he did all the other times. But again, like all the other times, Void does not give up. He is a man of persistence and sheer fucking will, you know? He's not gonna let this defeat be the end of him. He wants his fucking shit back. Void is a petty asshole who just won't give up. And now we have another era of peace for a long time. God, you know, has a couple children. Hello. Has, like, on Earth, he creates Adam, the first man. Excuse me. And that goes into humanity, you know. Humanity. That goes to humanity. Though, even before Adam, he already had like a son. We know him. We love him. The big Jesus. Technically, Jesus is the oldest brother because he was like born in heaven as like he came from a piece of Hello's soul. So he was technically already the oldest son. And then he just reincarnated, you know, through Mary on Earth as a human or human god, whatever the fuck Zeus is or Jesus is. My favorite carpenter boy. Like Jesus has like his typical story. Like he was born on Earth as a son of God, and he died for their sins and everything. So that's pretty much unchanged. Adam is technically the second son. There is a third son in spirit, kind of. In spirit alone, kind of. That is... Hold on, I forgot again. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Buddha. Here. I don't know how the fuck did I forget that? Anyway. Buddha. Buddha is like a son in spirit. Kind of. Because, you know, he's the first human that became enlightened. And when he went to heaven, he was given the title as a son of God in spirit and in title, pretty much. Which one? God damn it. Yeah, I know what you mean. I didn't really think about which one, honestly. Do you have a preference for which one? Because I honestly don't mind. Who is only a son of God in title alone, honestly. So I don't really mind which one. I assume Siddhartha Gautama. Well, if that's what you assume, that's the one it is. We will add that to the lore. H-A. H-A. U-T-A-A. Right. You're better. I like this lore, it actually makes sense. You've been talking for almost 2 hours. I didn't realize my lore was so long. Damn. Probably way longer than this, honestly. But so, to recap, Hellel is the son of the Demiurge, and he is the father of Jesus, the oldest, Adam, the second, and Buddha, the third son. And Nirvana is the fourth child and the only daughter. Just to let you guys know. God only has 4 kids. Buddha in name and title only, but yeah, 4 kids. And if you're curious, Lucillus also has a couple kids. Lucillus. He has... And we still just reached Nirvana. Lucifer. Because like I said earlier... the 7? Yeah. The 7 sins are his kids in a sense. But more like their creations. Like when he was Satan or Lucifer, when he was using those titles, he created the 7 deadly sins from him. So yeah, in a sense, they are his kids. But bloodline related, Lucifer, because like I said, Lucifer before he was only using a title. This Lucifer is like the son of Lucillus. And then he has another kid. This is kind of like a OC, kind of, because there's not really like a religion or religious figure or any sort of representation from that I base him off of. Ragnarok. Naming your son after your Edgelord name is crazy. Ragnarok is... He's actually the oldest, so like pretend that he's at the top here and then Lucifer's at the bottom. So Ragnarok's the oldest, he's the first son. Ragnarok was born, I guess, during his time that he was Lucifer / Satan. And he was like his right-hand general, you know? That's basically what he is. Like Ragnarok was supposed to be the representation of the Ragnarok from Norse mythology. And he was supposed to be like the like his strongest general in his army and start the events of Ragnarok. That's basically what I made him for. Like if Ragnarok's around, some shit's about to go down. Because Ragnarok's rarely around. Made by Surtur in the Ice Kayak for Gore. And he has a daughter. Nirvana's cousin, who in one of the main / supporting cast of My Lore. C-U-R-E. She has a first and last name. If they have a first and last name in My Lore, they're important. Azure Morningstar. She's the youngest and the only daughter. Lucillus only has 3 kids. Or 10 if you count the 7. But bloodline related, there are only 3. And can't forget the dog. Cerberus. the family dog Cerberus. Hey, I created Azure when I was like fucking 11 or some shit. No, even like younger than that. When I was in like 7th or 8th grade. Don't make fun of it. Anyway, hurry. They have kids. So like, trying to think if I need to say anything else. Oh. Hellel has a wife. Her name is Eden. And she is the representation. She is like the manifestation of the Garden of Eden. And Nirvana's mother. And Lucillus had a wife. I say had because they're kind of divorced now. Right now, Lucillus is a single dad. Want to get to Adonis now? I mean, we did a little clump. We're about to get Nirvana, but do you want to do Adonis first? Because they all kind of come together in Nirvana's part. Adonis and Clump. Sure. Okay. So. Let's do it. Fraud Adonis out the way. I thought you liked Adonis. Adonis. Gavalis. Or Gavalis? Gavalis, however you say it. Adonis was born. He is a pureblood demon from hell. Bro fell off. Adonis was a pureblood demon from hell. He was born in hell. He hasn't even appeared yet. How can you say he doesn't even appear anymore when he hasn't even made his official appearance yet? Let me tell my story. Adonis is a purebred demon, meaning he was born in hell. as a demon. Like he wasn't born as a human and then died and then became a demon. He was born as a demon. And he has an older brother that I didn't bother giving him a name. I mean, he had a name before, but I changed their names and I didn't bother giving him a new name. So we're just gonna call him older brother for now. Brother. He's like a lot older. He's like say it unimportant. He is very important actually. I just didn't think of a name for him yet. Say Adonis is like 5 at this point. The brother would be around 15 at this point. So a lot older. The brother practically raised Adonis since their parents are not around. I'll be if they're important. They're important for Adonis's story. So like Adonis is around 5. Older brother's around like 15. 15, 16, like teenager. The brother took care of Adonis. Fatherless behavior from Adonis. What's his beef with his brother? We'll get to it. The brother practically raised him and like taught him how to fight and protect himself, right? Oh, and they were living in like one of the deepest regions of hell. And what that essentially means is like they were basically like in the slums and like the super dangerous parts. No. Like the upper regions are more like where the rehabilitation areas for like the souls are. Or like souls that want to rehabilitate and try to become angels later. But the deeper regions is like we're all the what do you call it? I want to say I don't want to say they're the bad souls because the bad souls are in punishment in Tartarus. And Tartarus is another region of hell that we probably won't get into. But you get what I mean, right? They were like living in like a super dangerous place where they had to like fight to survive kind of area. If that makes sense. So his brother was essentially he didn't fully entirely protect him from the dangers. Like he wanted Adonis to fend for himself. So like he trained him, but he didn't protect him, you know? Hell's Hood, yeah. Like he taught Adonis how to fight, but he didn't protect him. Like if Adonis was getting attacked, he was just gonna let Adonis fend for himself. And if he came back alive, then that's a good thing. That means Adonis got stronger. And that's all that really mattered in the hood, essentially. They were in a place where they had to fight to survive. Where they had to fight to live. And at some point, like they were living like this for a couple years. When Adonis turned, let's say 10, right? 8, 9, 10-ish. He got a little older. And he's a little stronger. A little beef. His brother, the brother, decides to, like, you know, Void. Void is, you know, like, all petty again. He's raising an army and he's recruiting people. And he sees the brother and he decides, huh, that guy's pretty strong. If I bring him on my team, he's gonna get pretty strong, and he'll practically be unstoppable. Like, he sees a lot of potential in the brother getting strong, right? He doesn't see a lot of potential in Adonis being strong, though. So he approaches the brothers and he says, hey brother, I like you and I want you a part of my army. So to prove your loyalty to me, kill your brother. or something, right? He tells the older brother to get rid of Adonis so he doesn't have anything holding him back from getting stronger. And if he kills his brother, then that proves his loyalty to him, and he'll take him to get stronger and to invade heaven again, you know? Void is raising an army again. Yes, again. Because he won't give up. He'll never give up. He doesn't want to give up. So, and you know what the brother does? How many times we have to teach you this lesson, old man? You know what the brother decides? Even though he loves Adonis, he loves his brother. He knows the kind of environment that they're in. They have to fight to survive. And if this guy is going to kill me if I refuse, then I have to kill my brother to survive. I'm sorry, little brother, but I got to do it to you. Like, you know, like that's the kind of situation that they're in. Hell is a lawless place. No one's going to stop him from killing his own brother. So they fight. Adonis, who's 8, 9, 10-ish, and the brother who's around like 25 or 20 or 25 or something. Probably 20 with a 15-year-old out. He's like 10. He's like 8, 9, 10-ish or something. The brother's like 20 to 25 at this point. Though Adonis, though, he's kind of holding his own because his brother, the way that he's been training him and raising him, he can fight. He can fight and he can protect himself. And he's actually fighting back. But he's not fighting back to protect himself. He's fighting back out of rage for his brother because I thought you fucking loved me, bro. Like, why are you trying to kill me just to survive? Aren't you supposed to protect me? You're my brother. That all we have are each other, like in everything, right? But the brother, he gives him an injury that's basically fatal, pretty much fatal. And you know, little baby boy fight little wolf, baby little boy Adonis falls to the ground in defeat. Though that song from Epic is cool. And the Void, you know, like, good, you killed your brother. No, let's come on, we gotta go find other people. And he walks off. But before the brother goes with him, the brother looks back at Adonis and he says, if you want revenge on me, survive and fight. Survive, get stronger, come back and kill me. Like, essentially, right? Like, he basically tells him, if you want to survive, then fight this. If you want to get revenge on me and kill me, then survive this. And come find me. And I'll fight you and I'll fight you again. And that's what Adonis does. He fights off his injuries and he gets stronger. He's like fueling off of this rage and betrayal from his brother that he's determined to go find his brother and kill him out of revenge because he felt so betrayed by his own brother. They were the only family they had left and everything. Rosa, come back when you're less trash. Like, he said it in a harsh way, but he was basically saying don't give up and survive and live. You use the anger and use that betrayal and use that anger and survive this and keep fighting. And when we meet again, we'll have another fight. Is essentially what he said. Because like he believed that his brother would survive in the end. So then Adonis, purely off of rage for his brother and purely off of revenge alone, he rises through hell and he fights off every single demon that gets in his way of his goal. Is Adonis fire punch? What? What do you mean fire punch? Wait, isn't that manga from the Chainsaw Man creator? No, I'm looking it up. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I thought that sounded familiar. Anyway, Adonis rises through hell like a little baby boy that's from the bottom deepest reaches of hell. He fights his way up to the top, and he fights his way he fights his way into earning the title of the King of Destruction, and he fights his way into becoming the ruler of a circle. I think I said he was like the ruler of the first circle of hell, but I might retcon that because I'm still trying to decide which circle best suits him. But over the years, Adonis is now like 20-ish. Well, I want to say 19 though, because Nirvana is 18. Adonis might be the fire punch. And Adonis essentially becomes like one of the youngest demons to be a ruler of a circle. And the ruler of a circle is essentially the strongest demon in that circle, right? Like there are multiple circles of hell. I want to say like 7 to 9. I think 9 circles of hell. And there's a top brass for each circle. And then, the ruler of hell is the strongest of all of them. And like the sins are above them as well. So he got stronger, right? And he kind of vaguely remembers that Void was trying to amass an army to invade heaven again or something. I thought someone went off for a sec. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. So like before Adonis, okay, so we're gonna get into Nirvana a little bit. Nirvana, born 18 years in the past. There's like a ceremony in heaven, right? Where they have a ceremony for like the birth of the next heir in heaven, right? So there's like a time where it's like best suited for the next heir to be created. So the bloodline of the supreme god can continue. And that time is nearing. This is around the time where like Adonis was just born. So like he's like a year old. So there's no weird age gap between Adonis and Nirvana, don't worry. What was I saying? They were having this ceremony, and everyone's like pretty much expecting for Nirvana to be a boy because that's what all the gods have been up until this point. And when Nirvana was born, and that she was a girl, shocking. everyone's like, oh, a woman god, that's unheard of. Looking carefully at that age gap. Nirvana's 18 and Adonis is 19. It's okay. Adonis is 19, Nirvana's 18. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. There's no weird like canonical or appearance age. Like Adonis is 19 and Nirvana is 18. Bitch is young. there's no weird like demon age or human age or anything for them. Adonis is 19 and Nirvana is 18. Anyway, I was saying there was a ceremony, and when Nirvana was born, everyone was like shocked at first because she was a girl, but then they were celebrating because it's the heir. The bloodline lives on and everything, right? And like heaven was celebrating. But you probably know what I'm gonna say next. Fucking Void was secretly amassing an army at this point. Again. And he invaded heaven. Again. During the birth ceremony. When Nirvana was born. A girl, what's that? So he had a goal this time. He knew about the birthing of the next heir, right? And he had a plan. He was actually thinking this time. Void's plan, essentially, was kidnap the baby. Kidnap baby. Kill baby. Steal baby power. Go from there. This was essentially his plan. Void, when Nirvana was born, kidnap the baby, kill the baby, steal the baby's power, and go from there. Like, he doesn't even know if this is possible. Like, he doesn't even know if he can even take the powers of the Supreme God from her. But he's just assuming that he can. He reached levels of fraud never imagined. He's just doing anything now. He's like the quintessential evilest evil person, you know? He's just doing it to be evil. Because he's so petty. Like, everything up until this point has just been his ego and his pettiness, you know? and you know, the best thing he can do to get back at the god bloodline, I'm gonna steal their kid. I'm gonna kill their kid, and I'm gonna steal their power and try and take back my shit. That's essentially his whole persona. I'm gonna take my shit back. Cause that's my shit. Anyway, when he invaded heaven during the birth ceremony, he made the army attack heaven to as like a distraction, you know, to distract them from him sneaking into the royal palace. And it's also like God at this point was leading the army to fight back against the invasion, so he wasn't really nearby Nirvana to protect her. The person that was nearby to protect her was her mother, Eden. Remember? She's not really a fighter type, you know. She don't really fight. She's like a healer class, you know. I'm trying to say this in ways that you guys can understand. So, Boyd sneaks into castle. Sneaks into palace. Woman class. Got it. Void, ignore my ugly fucking mouse handwriting. Void sneaks into the palace. The only one really protecting Nirvana is Eden, who is in her nursery, like her nursing chambers. Like, she has guards protecting the door, but what are angel guards gonna do against Void, you know? He sneaks into the palace and he goes to the nursery chamber. Vanna Cook. She's a baby. Of course she is. And then Eden's there. Eden can do some fighting. Like, she has like nature powers, you know? Eden. Eden tried to fight back against him, but again, she's not really a fighter. She's just trying to protect her child. Void knocks her down. I'm trying to make sure you guys are following. And he grabs Nirvana. And Nirvana's little baby. Nirvana's crying. She's like, she's defenseless. And Void's about to attack her. Grabs IRVA. Nerva. But something happens. Something super surprising. Even at little baby Nirvana's infant age, she taps into her godly powers and she fucking knocks out Void. Void got fucking pancaked by a goddamn baby that was literally just born that morning. It's pwned. Bye, baby. Void got bitched by a baby. This is unprecedented, by the way. How can an infant child tap into her godly powers and knock away one of the most evilest beings in this universe and one of the strongest, oldest beings in the universe? She fucking pwned him. And then bro never recovered from that. He doesn't. He like after he gets knocked out and fought off by a goddamn baby, he has like a huge fucking hatred for Nirvana after this point. Because he's like, how dare a goddamn baby knock me down? Why are these grown men beefing with these kids all the time? And then Hello shows up after this. After he sees the light of the Supreme God, he hurries over to Nirvana and Eden, and he protects them. And he fights off Void. He was successful in fighting off Void, mainly because he was still kind of flabbergasted by Nirvana. a little baby. And God defeats him. Now God, he's getting tired of it, you know? Like, this guy just keeps attacking my home, and now he fucking attacked my wife, and he tried to attack my daughter. How fucking dare he? You know? And he's had enough. And God said, no. You're not, I'm not just gonna banish you to heaven now. Yeah, we're past that, dude. We're not doing banishment this time. I'm gonna fucking seal you away. Too big. So what God does, hold on. I'll make a little person to represent Void. His little butt. There, that's a little person to represent Void. You know, Void has, you know, his primordial dark entity powers in him, right? Well, God says, I'm gonna take your powers. God yoinks that out of him. He strips him of all of his remaining power that he had from, that he was saving up. Like all of this void powers that was from the void realm that the void still had in his body, he took it out of his body. He stripped him of his powers. And now Void's just a guy. I mean, he's still a god, but he doesn't have any powers anymore because he stripped them out of him. And what God does, he separates the powers from the body. Void's like, no. Because he's mad. This is funny. Void's like, I'm gonna fucking get you. You're not gonna see the last of me. I'm gonna take my powers back. God says, all right, you're done. And he's, not only does he banish him to hell again, but he seals him away in hell. Like, he seals up his body in this little, in the deepest crevices of hell. Like in the deepest, darkest pits where he can't possibly have any contact with anybody. And he sends him there. To be banished for all eternity. Stripped of his powers. Now these primordial dark entity powers, the powers of the void, I wonder where they go. Do you have an idea where they go, chat? I mean, he can't just seal them away in just some random fucking box or bottle or anything. He's got to put them away somewhere. And in somewhere where they could be contained. Have you ever wondered why half of Nirvana's hair is black? You must know where I'm going with this. Now I am. Here, that's ugly. Are you starting to see where I'm going here? So Nirvana, when she was a little baby, she only had white hair. She only had white hair. And she only had the powers of the Supreme God. And now, the only vessel powerful enough to seal away all of this dark energy is in the only vessel that can contain it. In Nirvana. Nirvana. Because there's no other vessel powerful enough to contain all this unimaginable primal evil. Let's just shove all this unimaginable primal evil I just got inside my baby. Now, to his defense, in her father's defense, he like sealed away the power. Like he put like a god seal. Pentagram's upside down, right? So he like sealed it away first. So he seals the powers away in like a little god dome seal thing, and then he puts the seal inside of Nirvana. So he's not just putting malevolent, evil, dark energy inside of her. Like he did some sort of precautions to to protect her. Bro put a little band-aid and gave it a kiss. This seems like a godly thing to do. What is it with gods and just saying, let's put all this shit in our kids so they can deal with it later? He can't give it to his brother because his brother was already influenced by Void before. And if he gave the powers to his brother, he might have been influenced again. He can't give it to himself because it's not compatible with him. The Supreme God energy and the Supreme God power is already deeply seated into his own body. It will just reject him. He can't give it to his sons because none of them are compatible with it. The only vessel that is compatible with all this power and has the power to seal it is literally the baby that was just born. Doesn't he have a wife? His wife can't do it. She's a representation of the Garden of Eden. She has nature powers. As I always say, that's a problem for future you. Hey, at least he sealed it away first. At least he sealed it away first, so it doesn't harm her. And, you know, God seals are pretty powerful. Though, even though he sealed it away, some power does like leak out of it a little. So and he seals it away deep inside of her, like her soul and everything. So when he seals it away, it like affects her soul a little bit, and half of her hair turns black, and she gets a scar on her face. So the reason why half of her hair is black, and the reason for her scar on her face, is purely because he sealed away the powers inside of her. And it's leaking out in its own special way. Anyway, you can probably guess. Void is very much mad at this point. And he spends the next 19 years or 18 years? Yeah, 18 years plotting his revenge and plotting to get his powers back. Again, he somehow has an insider to help him. Even though he's supposed to be sealed up deep within hell with no contact whatsoever. So then he grudges up an army of not only demons, but also, where's the main character? She is 18 now. She was just a baby or non-existent, or a baby up until this point. And now, 18 years later, no Clump. Clump's kind of just been doing his thing, doing his own thing this whole time. Clump was on his own journey of being one of the strongest Novathur. He had his own little, like, I don't know, Naruto coming of age or whatever. Anyway, we are now 18 years. Spelled that wrong. 18 years later. Adonis is 19. Nirvana is 18. Clump is... I don't know how old now, but he is a lot of years old. We still gotta learn how he got stuck inside of a copy of Pokemon. I don't know about... Are you seriously gonna force me to somehow include that in Salvajo? Okay, I'll figure something out. I don't know how right now, but we'll figure something out. Okay, we're gonna go into 18 years later. Nirvana's living as a human on Earth, by the way. Do as you want. Oh, I didn't even... Hold on. So after he sealed away the powers in Nirvana and everything, I am peer pressuring you. Okay, give me a second. After he sealed away the powers of the void into Nirvana, he decides to send her to Earth for her protection. Because now she has a whole fucking target on her back. All the demons all the demons and everyone from his army are gonna wanna go after her to get their powers back, you know? So, as a way to protect her and heaven, he sent her to Earth and he seals away all of her powers, not just the entity's powers. He seals away her supreme god powers too. So she lives on Earth as a human for 18 years. And her brother Jesus and Adam were taking care of her. Buddha was somewhere else. But her two oldest brothers, Jesus and Adam, were raising her and taking care of her, while also simultaneously watching over the seal on her. And, you know, she has like childhood friends. She has her cousin Azure and an angel named Sandalphon. You might recognize the name Sandalphon. He's like one of the angels in that have like fuck. Where's my brain going? Sandalphon's like the younger brother of Metatron. I'm pretty sure that's also the same for like in religion too, but yeah. And Metatron's the right hand to God. The same for my lord too. He's the right hand of Hello. Anyway, we're getting off track. I got excuse me. 18 years later, she lived as a human, and you know she's just living her human life, just doing her own thing. When all of a sudden, you want to guess who invaded Earth after finding out where Nirvana is? A certain someone, the Big V, who doesn't know the definition of giving up. EARTH. Void from hell invades Earth with demons. Clump is there. The eldritch creatures. Eldritch creatures. And Clump. Clump is there too. What happened to being locked out of reach? He has a representation this time. He has someone fighting for him. Bring in the Doom games. So Void. Let's go over here. Void, he's all the way out here, right? But he has an insider. Not Lucillus. Don't worry. He is a good guy. Lucillus is still a good guy, I mean. Void has an insider. And he has like a representation. I'm not sure how canon this is. It can really be anyone, honestly. But let's say for now, it's Hades, right? Even though Hades really doesn't do anything wrong. I'm just using Hades as like a placeholder. Hades, in representation of Void, Adonis's brother. We can do that. Okay. Instead of Hades, because I kind of like Hades. We'll do Adonis's brother. Adonis's brother is kind of like his right hand. So yeah, let's do that. Like he works to try to free him from the void. Adonis's brother, in representation of the void, attacks Earth to get Nirvana to take back his powers and kill her. Because he doesn't want her powers anymore. Now he just wants to kill her to stop her from going on the throne. So he essentially just put a hit out on Nirvana. I'm great at this, Lord. So yes, you are, Sabi Jill. Void essentially just put a $1 million hit out on Nirvana. And now he doesn't want her powers anymore. He just wants her dead. So Adonis's brother amasses demons from hell, the eldritch creatures plus Clump. Clump down there. And they attack Earth searching for Nirvana. Nirvana's powers are still sealed within her during this invasion. They do unlock at some point during the invasion, but I'll not worry about that right now. But during the invasion, her powers are still sealed away and she's being protected by her brother, the billion dollar baby. You know, she's like being protected by everyone that was there to help and look after her and everything. Now, this is where Adonis and Nirvana meet. And we'll somehow fit Clump in there. Adonis doesn't really care for the war. He's only really there so he can get closer to his brother. Like he only joined the army and joined the war so he can try to get to his brother to get revenge on him. And then Nirvana's over here. And Nirvana at this point is surrounded by demons. Who demons. Surrounded by demons so they can get her so they can take the powers back and kill her. And you know, like what they were there to do. Adonis though, he don't care. So he essentially takes out the demons that were going to attack her. Like he saves her pretty much. He takes out the demons to attack her. At this point, he only saves her so he can use her to get to his brother. But, and this is gonna be some stupid fucking shit, chat. This is cringe, and this is so cliche, and I am aware of how cliche it is, but I'm never changing it. Like, he knows of Nirvana's existence, and when they see the demons attacking her, he assumes that that's what they're looking for, so he attacks the demons so he can use her to get to his brother. But then the moment he sees her, the moment he sees her, he falls in love. It's like love at first sight for this man, and he loves her. And now all he wants to do is protect her. So instead of doing what they were there to do, what he joined the army for, and almost completely forgetting about his revenge for his brother, he protects her from all the demon attacks during this invasions. Cliche. Yeah, it's very cliche. I'm aware of how cliche it is. But I'm never changing it. Because I love it so much. It's so cliche, it's kind of cute. Because, you know, all Adonis knew all this time was fighting and war and revenge. And he sees someone, he experiences love for the first time. And he doesn't want to get rid of that. I mean, come on, who would? After so long, after being on a fight for revenge pretty much his entire life, he finally experiences something different. It's so cliche, I know. You can cringe, chat. I'm aware of how cringe it is. Sees a woman for the first time. It's actually not his first time seeing a woman. Like, Adonis has had one night stands. But, you know, they were purely for, like, his benefit. Like, he has had fleeting relationships where he was using that person for their knowledge to get any sort of information on his brother. Male or female, by the way. Like, Adonis didn't care. But then there was just something about Nirvana, you know, because she's the main character. She's the main character. He's the main love interest. We're here for the agenda, Vana. Okay. I have no idea where Clump is gonna fit in this, honestly. Clump is somewhere in this war. Like, he's here. Bro and I have the same sexuality. Vanisexual. Yeah. I'm vanisexual too. How the fuck am I gonna fit into him? How the fuck does Clump get trapped in a Pokemon game in the first place? You might have to brainstorm that later. But anyway. After this, Adonis pretty much acts as her bodyguard during the invasion after he meets her and falls in love with her and whatever, and cringe and all that shit. Nearing the end of the invasion, Nirvana awakens her powers again. But not only does she awaken to the Supreme God powers, the Clump got a little confused. Yeah, he got lost somehow. He got lost. She awakens both the Supreme God powers and the Void powers at the same time. Like, the seal broke. But, it's not all bad, because to an extent she can control it. Because during all that time that the Void powers were inside of her, they, like, balanced out with her Supreme God powers. Because, you know, yin and yang and shit. So now she not only has the powers of the Supreme God, she also has the powers of the Void that she can use. So she has to train to master them and everything. And she also regained her divinity. Sorry. Like when the seal broke, she regained her godhood. And after the invasion, she ascended up to heaven, where she meets her father and her mother and Buddha, her other brother, and she learns of her responsibilities of being the heir to the throne, and also the history with Void. So now she has a new goal. She has to somehow stop Void again, and she has to, you know, become the new heir and claim her rightful place on the throne. And that's about it. Other than the clump Pokemon thing. Here, I'll move you guys back. That was almost 3 hours. Jeez. Oh, where am I? Here I am. Hello. Thank you. You didn't like being down there? Here. Oh, right. You guys are... I'm in front of you. Is this better? You guys like being in front of me instead? Big lore. Yeah, it's a lot of lore. I'm thinking about trying to get someone to help me streamline it and to make more sense and more compact and everything. You talk for so long. I'm glad you guys were...
Glemstur's cosmic presence transcends boundaries. Eldritch, embrace the mystery, embrace the unknown, praise the celestial quirk that led
Okay.
Pokemon White. Cosmic intertwining and Lichin.
What the fuck was that? Did you hear that, or was that just was that just me? It was an exquisite lord explanation. I hope I made sense. I apologize. Bro is on the depths of the void. Yeah, he lost connection. I hope my crude explanation, my crude MS Paint drawings and everything made the lore make a lot of sense. Hopefully. You made sense. I'm good, because there were some parts that I kind of forgot because it's been so long. Thank you for the stream. Yeah, we're about 3 hours, so that it is a really good stream. We're gonna get back into Metaphor Fantasio gaming hopefully tomorrow or Friday. We'll see. But thank you all for hanging out with me today. Oh, Clip wants to talk?
Glemster's essence spans beyond the void. Cosmic energy flows through realms. Embrace the eldritch expanse. Watch as celestial presence illuminates darkness. Praise the cosmic connection that knows no boundaries. Me.
Emmy. Thank you for the Emmy clump. This was fun. I'm gonna go eat and also rest my voice because I talk for a lot longer than I'm used to. Goodbye, chat. See you next stream.